Good day. My name is Sharon Cox. I'm a crop consultant in the Lamesa area, and I'm here today to talk with you about alfalfa production. One of the things I'd like to do today is sort of talk you through a general year's production of alfalfa. Now, I'm assuming that you were really on time with getting your alfalfa in last fall, and that you put down a good starter fertilizer and that we're ready to make this next year's production of alfalfa. Okay, well, it's early February. We had a big snow here in Dawson County just yesterday, and we're looking forward to a new season of production. The next thing we're going to have to worry about on this alfalfa crop is getting those weeds under control. You want to be sure that that first cutting is a good one. For many, many years I kept horses, and by this time every year I was desperate for hay. And what's the worst thing in that first cutting? Too many weeds. And when is that hay the most valuable? Coming right straight out of a hard winter. So you want to take good care of that first cutting. We've had extremely good success with a full rate dose of a product like Pursuit. I understand there's more products out there, and your dealer or your extension agent might be perfectly happy with other products. If so, that's fine. But don't put it off. You want to save that first cutting. Okay, next thing we're going to worry about going into the early part of March is being sure that we have checked those fields carefully for alfalfa weevils. If you wait until you drive by your field and it looks kind of funny and your neighbors are wondering if somebody got some 2,4-D on it, well, you're in a lot of trouble. You've got alfalfa weevils and you're way behind. There are several methods for checking for alfalfa weevils. Our preferred method is with a sweep net. We want to do that early. You may want to do it a different way. You may want to use drop cloths, or you may want to just get out there and physically check the plants. If you choose to do that, you need to have a really good pair of knee pads because you will be crawling around in little bitty alfalfa. Sweep nets is much easier. Okay, now if this is your first year with alfalfa, you had a good starter fertilizer put down when you seeded this last fall. You probably won't need any additional fertilizer this year, but let's be sure. It wouldn't hurt if you didn't get a good soil sample when you started this alfalfa last year. Now's the time to do it. We can be looking at any fertility needs that we might need in this crop this year. Alfalfa has a tendency to run really low on phosphorus. So be sure you've got enough phosphorus for that crop. It's phosphorus hungry. Some areas, depending on how sandy it is, might need a little extra potash on it. So you want to check that. Be sure that you've got enough nutrition. Going a little bit further in the season, we're going to run into some more insect problems. Your fields need to be scouted regularly, at least once a week. A few years ago, one of the ladies that works with me, Gloria Gonzalez, was in a field with a producer just a few days after his second cutting. And as they were sitting there looking over this alfalfa patch, a swarm, enormous swarm of yellow butterflies descended on this patch of alfalfa. And this producer was talking about what a beautiful sight all of these beautiful yellow butterflies were. And Gloria turned to him with her jaw dropped down nearly to her chest and said, "Those are alfalfa caterpillars, and they're here to eat this crop up." At which point he threw a fairly sizable fit with language that we don't need to tape, and had many interesting things to say about those not so beautiful yellow butterflies. So there's not a whole lot of things out there that can't damage your crop. And an alfalfa caterpillar that hits just a few days after a cutting can devastate a crop. Needless to say, before the sun went down that day, that field had been sprayed. We're not always fortunate enough to be that Johnny on the spot when something that's potentially that dangerous to that crop descends. That was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to hit them before they hit us. Be alert, There have been some armyworm outbreaks in this vicinity that have been devastating. I have